Okay, so good evening again, everyone. So I am here again to talk about the summary of the chapter 11 of the CNNA one. You know, what I've learned in this topic or in this certain chapter is that you should always be secure, just like the past chapter that I've worked with, I've read about. Always about being secure. You know, why is it important to be being secured? For me, as a person who has so many things that I think that it only means of knowing those things by me, I need it to be secure. I need a privacy. I need it. And it is really important to have it while dealing in network. It's really important to have, you know, to have being secured and knowing that your network is not having a bad time or not having a problem due of those hackers that want to hack your network. And this chapter deals on how you can secure your certain network during configuration, how on how to configure a certain network with security. That is really important. What I've learned here in this is that that those in configuration, that is the layer 2 devices is the most easiest part or easiest part of the network that being hacked with by the hackers. And by that, knowing that it is the easiest part of being hacked, it is also should be the most you should always put, or you should put your best security on this part of the device, because it may lead of a leakage of those things that you might not want that the hackers will know. You know, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. And also in this chapter 11, it is really important to know that this kind of configuration or this kind of security is a great help for your network. And also, always remember those ways on how to be not being attacked by those attackers or by those hackers out there. Those are, for example, here in the DH GHCP attack review. In this part, there is said that there is a thing that may help, or can be a great solution, but it also said here that you effectively mitigate it by using port security because of the cover user. However, mitigating spoofing attacks requires more protection. Guard blur could be configured with the use of actual interface MAC address and specific internet address. So, although that this gobbler thing or this gobbler ways is really a good solution, but you should put more be more protected by those attackers, because you know you know they will just attack the way they want to attack you, and it being not ayun, being not I was really redundant by saying being not being ready, but that's what I want to say. You know being not being not ready all the time is really, really a bad, or really, really a sad thing to know. You should always be ready in those attackers. So this is the sense of discussing this chapter, or discussing this chapter 11, for us to know how can we get rid of those attackers, because those attackers are really unpredictable. You cannot say that if you can you cannot say that if you that I don't care to put those kind of security, because there's no attackers out there. You cannot say, it's very unpredictable. They are just like thief that will not say when will they go, or when will they go to you, or when will they attack on your device, on your network. So the word is being ready and being secure. if you have those things, if you have those two words on you and your network, also in your devices and most importantly in your reality life, it is very, very good to know, you know. And also in the dynamic ARP inspection, I give my chapter and me discussing the contents of this chapter. I've stated all the rules. I hope that you will know it by watching the first video or the content of the chapter 11. And I'll just, as part of, as I understand here, is just, know you should also the user also should know on how to deal with this kind of attackers. Let's just open our mind. Let's be an open-minded person that those attackers are out there already. We can say that there's no attackers. We should be, we should be stable. Yes, we should be stable, but you know what I mean by being stable is just you're just being stable that you're thinking that there is no attacker. Just always be open minded that there is always attacker out there that may attack your network. And if your network is that weak that is maybe easiest to be attacked, it may be distracted by those hackers. But if your network is secured and you know that those attackers may go and attack your network and you're already secured and you know that you have your security system that may protect your network, it will never be happen, you know. That's what I mean. And also it is really important to use this kind, the port fast and the BPPU card. I've stated it before in the contents, but I will state it also here in the summary because it is really giving me a great, lesson here. Because you know the the thing that I remember is the network attackers can manipulate the spanning tree protocol or the STP to conduct the attack by spoofing the root bridge and changing the topology of a network. Changing the topology and changing those things is really, really sad to know. Because the sense of knowing or this like for example, you have a great network, you have a great company, you have a great devices that you have made, and the effort that you've put on there, then someone will change the way how it works and change the way and maybe not how it works, but it changed it because they want to broke it. That is really bad. You will have a bad feeling on it. And so that the port fast and the BDU guard is a great tool or is a great things to have for you to be secured on your certain devices. That is really, but it should always be attached on your end devices, because if it will never be attached, it will never work at all. And you know in this chapter, it's not also only talking about or talking about they're not only talking about those operating system or the software, also dealing about the hardware on it. And also it is said here that there are certain commands that you may use first in the secured and use port here, the first one, in use port. Like what I've said before, like what I said in the previous video, if those ports are not really doing something on your network, you should disable it for a while. Because if you think that there is something that may or those ports may do to you or do to your network that may bring it a great result, you can enable it. But the things that the command that I remind on how to disable those ports are the shutdown command. And to reactivate or to, yes, to reactivate the ports that is being shut down is you will use the command of the no shutdown command. It's really important to know those commands on doing this kind of security or this, you know, because those commands may help you, really help you, for you to be more secured and for you to know that when will you use and when will you do that kind of things on your network. It is really important for you to know about it. And This chapter 11 summary, this chapter 11 is a great chapter for me. Why? Because it doesn't only because it also may it also connects on our reality world. Because it is said here that we should be secured, you know, secured. What if I can connect it in, secured in software, or you're in emotional, or in your, the things inside you, and the hardware and the things that outside of you. If you think that, you know, the sense of being secured is the sense of being knowing how to be secured, right? And like what I've said before, or in connection in our reality world, for example, your hardware in your body, how can you be secured? How can you be secured to others, person that may do something bad on you? You should know your self-defense, right? An example, in connection in our this chapter, chapter 11, there is also a thing, or what we call this as defense, on how to protect, or on how to protect your hardware, and also in your software and your emotional, is more importantly on your emotional aspect, or in connection in this chapter in the network, it is the operating system. Because yes, you do have the hardware, you do have your body, you do have, but your software or your emotional content or your emotional aspect is broken. There is no sense of having, or not, there's no sense of building, or there's no sense of having those hardware. Because what is this? It will never work without those operating systems. So it should always be secured. And think always that this chapter will greatly help you, not only to being, enhanced on the networking, but most especially is being enhanced, or you always connect this, for you to deeply understand those chapters or these kinds of topics. Always connect it on yourself, always connect it into the reality world, or how does it work, or you just have to connect it so that you can truly understand what does it mean, or what is it all mean about. So I hope that you've learned something about this summary, and just a summary of what I've said on the previous video that I've done, or in the chapter 11 contents. So I hope that you've learned something. Thank you for giving your time and watching this video, and thank you so much. That was all, and good night.